So before we get going, I'll just say good evening to all. My name is Ed Stevenson. I'm Manager of Engineering and Technology Services of the Alameda County Water District. We'll call roll with the board to ensure that everybody understands who's here. Before we do that, I'd like to ask Ms. Marcoux to either share the agenda or let me share my screen. Great. Great. So Ms. Marcoux, do you want to call the roll?
I will. Thank you. Directors Aquari, Gunther,
Here.
Sethi,
Not, Gina, you're very loud. I'm here if it's, you called out my name. I can't hear you. You look like you're on mute.
Gina, I can't hear you either, but I'm here, Paul Sethi.
Yeah, that's okay.
You can do it with sign language.
Yeah, so I think there may be an odd, I think it's not, technical issues are not confined to me today. So I know it sounds like there's an audio issue on Gina's side. So if you don't mind, I'll start again, calling a roll. Directors Kwong, Akbari, Gunther,
Here.
Sethi,
Here.
and Weed.
Here.
Okay, if you guys will permit, I'll simply lead the salute to the flag, if you'll all join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, before hopping into the rest of the agenda, just want to make a couple of quick notes for folks that are participating. This is a special meeting of the Board of Directors. Again, my name is Ed Stevenson. I'm the Manager of Engineering and Technology Services of the Alameda County Water District. In addition to the members of the Board of Directors who have introduced themselves, we also have staff in attendance. Including Rosie Chan. And I'm pulling up my participants list here. Rosie Chan, who's a senior engineer with the Alameda County Water District and also the project manager for the primary topic we'll be talking about this evening. Also Ben Egger, who's a supervisor in the project engineering division, and he's supporting Rosie this evening. And also Reka Ipagunta, who is the project engineering division manager, also supporting Rosie, and Shireen Gonzalez, our public affairs supervisor, here present tonight. Generally, for those folks who are participating in Zoom, we ask that you'll mute yourself, but we may also mute you if there are audio issues or anything like that that we need to ensure aren't disturbing the proceedings here. If you're muted, when the appropriate time comes up in the agenda, you can feel free to unmute yourself and make any comments or ask questions as appropriate. You can also use the chat feature in Zoom, or you can raise your hand using your controls on the Zoom screen, and that will get the attention of our District Secretary, Gina Marcoux, and myself and others, and we'll be sure to address any questions or comments that you might have. If you're participating by cell phone only, you should note that the materials that will be reviewed tonight are available on the district's website at www.acwd.org. And if you're on cell phone only and you'd like to sort of raise your hand and get the attention of the host, you can press *6. And that will essentially raise your hand and get the attention of the host. And if you're using both Zoom for video and your cell phone for audio, just be aware there could be audio issues and sound quality issues that may may be disruptive. So we might mute you in that instance. So again, thank you everybody for attending. So item 3 on the agenda is public comments on matters on this notice of special meeting. So if there are any members of the public or participants that would like to make any comment now, you're more than welcome to do so. And I'm looking for raised hands, and I'm not seeing any. I'm also looking in the chat feature in Zoom. I'm not seeing any members of the public that would like to make any comments on the items on the agenda tonight. So Ms. Marcoux, I'll just ask that you verify that you're seeing the same thing that I am.
That's correct, Ed.
Thank you. Okay, well, there'll be other opportunities following the presentation also to ask questions. So then moving on to item 4 on the agenda, it's the Canyon Heights Booster Station Upgrade Project Virtual Community Informational Meeting. And the purpose of this item on the agenda is really the central topic on the agenda tonight. And it's to allow ACWD to share information about the project, our Canyon Heights Booster Station Upgrade Project, with the community and answer any questions that the community may have, and keep the dialogue going with the folks that we serve. And so with that, I will introduce Rosie Chan, who is the project manager for this project. Rosie has been instrumental in a number of projects, and I'll ask Rosie that you share your screen at this time. Rosie's been instrumental in a number of projects in the Canyon Heights area and of course elsewhere throughout the district. She's a senior engineer in our capital projects division. Rosie's been hard at work on this project and several others in the Upper Canyon Heights area over the last couple of years, and is ready to share more information about this project, which is slated to begin construction shortly. So with that, Rosie, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Stevenson. Good evening, members of the board, staff, and members of the public. My name is Rosie Chan, and I am the project manager for this Canyon Heights Booster Station Upgrade Project. May I ask if you all can see my screen? I am assuming it is yes.
Yep, looks good, Rosie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you. Yes, I will be providing the information about this upcoming improvements at this critical facility in City of Fremont. And throughout the presentation, if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat or you can raise your hand, and I will try to answer as much as possible at the end of the presentation. So here are the agenda items for the presentation. I will be providing a brief overview of Alameda County Water District, and I will be providing the scope of work for the project, some project benefits, project overview, the overall project schedule, the impacts, project impacts, and the mitigation measures, and I will close out with the Q&A section at the end. So I want to provide a brief, a bit background of Alameda County Water District. It is our mission to provide a reliable supply of high quality water at a reasonable price to our customers. We operate 24/7, 365 days per year to ensure our drinking water meets and exceeds all the state and federal regulations of drinking water standards. Here are some of the ACWD services. As mentioned previously in the mission statement, we provide reliable, high-quality drinking water to our customers, and we operate 24/7 and provide emergency response for the customers within our service area. We have a total of 13 water supply storage tanks and reservoirs in our distribution system, and in order to meet the demands of our customers and also provide fire protection during emergency. our groundwater management team provides watershed and groundwater resources management and protection. Our customer service group answers calls from the customers and also provides prompt responses to the needs of our customers. We provide community education and awareness as well as water conservation assistance. We constantly promote opportunities for open space and recreation activities and also engage in federal, state, and regional programs. Our district was founded in 1914, and currently we have over 84,000 service connections, and we serve over 357,000 customers. Here is our service area. Our service area is approximately 105 square miles, including Fremont, Newark, and Union City. And as previously mentioned, we have over 357,000 customers and 84,000 service connections. So our Canyon Heights Booster Station is located in City of Fremont. It is located in the Canyon Heights neighborhood near Niles Boulevard and Mission Boulevard in City of Fremont. So for our booster stations pump water to the storage tanks in order to serve the customers in the upper zones. So Canyon Heights Booster Station pumps water to Canyon Heights tank in order to serve customers in the Canyon Heights zones. So it is very critical facility in our distribution system. And without that facility, we won't be able to serve customers in the Canyon Heights zone. So this map is a high level view, but I will have a couple more slides later on in the presentation to show you a close-up view of the facility. So here are some of the project scope of work. The first thing we're gonna be doing is deployment of temporary improvements in order to provide continued reliable water service during construction. Once the temporary improvements are in place, we will be replacing the existing electrical equipment, including PG&E metering switchboard and motor control center, MCC. And additionally, we will be installing concrete structure to support these equipment in civil and electrical improvements. And also we'll be performing the safety improvements at the site in order to meet Cal OSHA requirements. We will be performing testing and commissioning services to ensure the equipments operate and function according to our contract documents. So here is the area view of the booster station. So as I mentioned previously, this Canyon Heights Booster Station is located in City of Fremont. It is situated at the corner of Canyon Heights Drive and Clark Drive. And as part of the project, we will be removing these above ground electrical equipment that are shown with the red arrow here. And the existing PG&E transformer will remain in place. And here is our proposed improvement plan. We will build a new concrete structure right behind the existing booster station. And on top of that concrete pad, we will be installing the electrical equipment as shown here. So this Canyon Heights Booster Station was last upgraded in 1979, and it has been serving us well for the past 40 plus years. But right now, the equipment at this station are approaching the end of their useful lives, and they are no longer maintainable and serviceable, and the spare parts are also limited. So this project will bring a lot of benefits to the customers, and by executing this project, we will be able to efficiently manage and maintain our water infrastructure in order to continue providing a reliable supply of high quality drinking water for customers in the Canyon Heights area. So here is the overall project schedule. The construction contract was awarded in October board meeting. We are anticipating to begin construction in December, which is this month. We plan to place Canyon Heights Booster Station back in service no later than May 14 of 2021. And the project completion is scheduled for July 19 of 2021. So if you want to learn more about this project, you can go to the project website and in this link here. In addition to the project website, we will be posting some project updates on our Facebook page, Twitter, and Nextdoor app. Additionally, you can also register under ACWD's Rapid Alert Notification System in order to receive updates from the district. There will be some impacts from the project during construction. We will take mitigation measures in order to minimize these impacts in your neighborhood. So you may see construction vehicles driving in your neighborhood to transport equipment, small stockpiles of materials, etc. You may hear some minor construction noise and experience some vibration if you are near the construction site. Our contractor will take traffic control measures in order to mitigate the traffic congestion in your neighborhood. We will also take safety measures by putting up construction signs and temporary fences for public to take necessary precautions if you're near the construction activities. Here are the project contacts. Our general contractor is Valentine Corporation, and here is their main office number. You can contact their main office if you have any questions regarding this project. When you call them, you can provide them the location of the project so that they can transfer you to appropriate personnel. I have also provided my contact information here along with our Public Affairs Supervisor, Shireen Gonzalez's contact information. That's it. Any questions? Is there any questions?
Well, John Weed, if there are no other questions from the public or staff.
Okay.
Does
I'm
the
not seeing
project
any
is,
questions from the public yet.
okay. Let's see what,
I have a question.
Sure.
This is Annette. I live nearby, so I was just wondering, like, what is everything inside of that box that you're replacing? Is it like all the pumping equipment goes inside of that?
This project is, yes, mainly electrical improvements. So we will be replacing mainly electrical equipment. There are pumps inside, located inside this underground concrete structure. But we are not replacing the pumps. That's part
Oh,
of-
so that it's just electrical changes and updates.
Yes,
And the project's gonna be like 6 months?
yes, around approximately 6 months.
Is that every day there will be construction going on there?
It's not going to be every day. This is, there will be some time while contractor is waiting for equipment to be procured, and they might do some site work, and then they might wait for the procurement of the equipment, and then they will come and install them when they are ready.
This is Director Sethi. I think we need to clarify for Annette that there are large pipes underground. There's a huge room underneath that structure underground where all of our distribution pipes and pumping equipment is based.
Mhm. Yeah, but none of those are gonna be changed out. It's just electrical. So it's not like big pipes would be coming down the street and be sitting on the side. Is that correct?
We will have a temporary connection to the temporary pump because we are cutting the electrical system to the existing pump. So in order to provide the water to the customers, we'll have to bring temporary pumps above grade, and those temporary pumps will have temporary piping connected to our distribution system. So there will be 2 above grade piping that will be within our property.
I see. I don't know that much about how the water gets distributed. How does that affect the customer in the Canyon Heights area? Does it affect the drinking water that comes out through our pipes and to our homes?
It will affect indirectly. So we're not replacing the piping that is connected to your water system. However, we are replacing the power that is feeding the existing pump. So there will be some impact to the facility. And that's part of the reason why we bring temporary booster pumps in order
Okay.
to minimize that.
So when that electricals are getting replaced, would the water be like halted for any times during the day?
No, there will not be service interruption. The reason being is we have the storage tank that is supplying water to your resident. So there won't be any disconnect to your service.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and this is Ed, and I'll just add that this facility does, it's an important part of the water system that serves your home and the surrounding area. However, the work that's to take place is intended to be all within that site, within that large underground room that Director Sethi talked about, and then other piping and equipment changes within the site that Rosie talked about. So there shouldn't be any impacts off-site in terms of physical construction work. And we're not planning on any sort of service interruptions. In fact, the project includes a number of provisions to ensure that service does not get interrupted during the project. So we have temporary facilities that are going to be put in place to ensure that even though the station is removed from service temporarily during the work, that there'll be temporary facilities that will continue to provide service to the area. And as Rosie points out, the larger area is covered by a tank, a water storage tank that's kind of higher up on the hills up in the Upper Canyon Heights area, and that tank will also continue to provide service to the area. So yeah, in terms of impacts directly to customers, we're planning on none.
Okay. Is that water tank at the top of Steinhammer? Is that the storage water tank?
Yeah, if you've kind of walked around up there, that's the large green tank, this big steel storage tank up there. That's
There's a special road to it, right?
Yeah. That's an important tank that serves the whole area.
Okay, that's interesting. I thought that this, the electrical outlets that you're replacing, I thought that was actually a railroad track kind of control. I didn't know it was a water pump, so it's interesting that you're. So thanks for explaining everything.
Sure.
Any other questions?
Has this been returned to the board yet?
I'm not seeing other questions or people raising their hands, but certainly any members of the public are welcome to chime in with any questions at any time. But I think Director Weed, it's fine for you to ask your question too.
Okay, great. Does the design include an emergency generation capability? We can pull a generator up and operate it if we were to lose regional power.
Yes, the project has the provision. The contractor will bring emergency generator to the site to provide temporary power in case of PG&E power outage.
Now, is that construction power or operational power if we were to after the project is completed?
So once the project is completed, there will be the service connection. There will be a generator connection and as a permanent device that will be installed on site. And district has portable generators that facility maintenance staff can bring to the site to connect to that portable temporary connection device.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Director Sethi with a comment, but I'd like to invite any member of the public to go ahead first. Nobody from the public raising their hand?
Director Sethi, I'm not seeing anyone raise their hand unmute themselves at this point.
Okay, so I sent in an inquiry about this property earlier today and also with a recommendation, if I can bring it up here. First
Sure.
of all, I wanted to know what the square footage was of the property that we own at that corner of Canyon Heights and Clark Drive. And the response was it's about 2,500 square feet. That's the size of a good size home. And my recommendation was, because we're in the middle of a neighborhood and this is such an industrial looking site, kind of an eyesore at that corner where you go across the railroad crossing. And I grew up right here in Mission San Jose, and I'm very familiar with the property. So my suggestion is that although it's not in the project scope right now, that we entertain a good neighborhood contribution by dressing up and beautifying this property so that it aesthetically looks good for the residents around there. I really think we need to budget for that, and I'm making a formal request here that we do so.
Yeah, Director Sethi, thank you for that suggestion. And we've already started the internal conversation to see about doing that. You know, the overall area is very industrial, and I mean, in terms of, you know, adjacent to the railroad tracks and so forth. But it is, like you say, right in a residential area. So we'll take a look at what we can do to improve the aesthetic of the site.
Yeah, let's plant some trees, put in some bulbs underground that come up once a year. You know, there's a lot we can do with this property to enhance the neighborhood at minimal expense to our ratepayers.
Drought tolerant, of course.
Yes, of course. Nothing less.
I think that'd be really nice to improve that. It does look really industrial. And a lot of times people do graffiti in that area. So some trees would, we'd really appreciate that.
Okay, thank you for the comments and questions. Is there any other questions, observations, curiosities from either members of the public or members of the board?
Ed, do you know about how often our guys would go in to maybe service this site? Frequently per year, once, maybe not?
Well, we're out there fairly regularly. I'll bet you that Rosie knows has a better handle on that answer than I do.
I want to say they do 6 months inspection, and sometimes they do an annual maintenance to these equipment.
Okay, okay. Just wondering. Brain's working. It's a bad thing.
I also have another question, which is, this is Director Sethi, about potential vandalism at the site and whether we will have any kind of security camera that keeps us posted on what is going on.
Oh, it has the intrusion alarm, so the access hatch and the equipment are connected to our district SCADA system. So when the hatch is opened, the operators will receive the alarm on their SCADA system. And so everybody has to call in advance before they can open any of these doors or hatches, etc. Otherwise, they can send the security to the site.
Yeah, I will say that the site, like other ACWD facilities, is secured through a number of measures. We'll typically not go into detail in, in a public setting, but the site is currently secure and the project wouldn't do anything to change the current security setting of the site.
I'm concerned a little bit because most of our booster stations are kind of non-obvious and out of a highly trafficked area, but this is where it's very noticeable. So I would like to encourage us to maybe have a camera there too. Just a thought. It's up to staff to figure it out.
Okay.
I just would like to add, this is Rekha. We also have a CIP line item for security improvements district-wide. So we could also consider this location as part of that project.
All right. Last chance for further questions. Well, we appreciate everyone's participation. I think that there are a couple of versions of the agenda. I think the official agenda that's published includes item 5 as adjournment. Although I saw on the initial version that was flashed on the screen, there was also director's comments and general manager's reports. I will suggest that the general manager has no reports to make this evening. And I just thought I'd confirm that there are no director's comments as either.
No comments from me, Red.
None for me either.
I'm good. No
Okay.
comment at this time.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you all very much. For our members of the public, again, there's additional information on our website. There's contact information. We're all available to answer any questions or concerns during the project, and we encourage you to reach out if there's ever a need to do that. And until then, I will, I suppose, recommend that we adjourn and bid you all a good evening.
Sounds good to me. Night, Ed.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Staff. Thank you, Gina. And thank you, Rosie.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night, all.